Well, good morning, all. Good morning to you all. How's everybody doing today? I am trying to find myself a little bit of a spot over here to be able to talk to you. Do you guys hear me all right? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? So, I guess I'm going to do it right here on the stairs. About 2 minutes ago, I got a text message stating, I don't even know who's on here. Everybody bear with me. Let me tell you how God works. So, let's see. This one's gonna be all over the place, so just stay with me all. So 2 minutes ago, I got a message from my team. Sir, 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 Chris is on an airplane. We can't get in touch with Christian. Can you lead? I was like, um, okay. So I was just talking to Drew, trying to find a spot so I'm not in the sun here. So I was just talking to Drew. I was at this made the elite status and we were at the elite breakfast. And I was like, guys, I got a lead today. I got to go do the show. And we figured it out. We figured it out. So about 2 minutes ago, they told me, "Sir, are you coming on?" I was like, "I wasn't planning on it, but here I am." So good morning, Dee, Jackie, Karen, Bethany. Good morning to y'all from Orlando, Florida. What's up, John and Manuel? As I go through there, Jesse, what's going on? What's up, Stephanie and Paul? So for those that are on here today, you guys are going to get a little bit of a bonus session about what we got going on. But first and foremost, if Jay or Grace are able to put up the affirmation, just because I'm in Orlando, Florida, I'm still going to do our affirmation. So if they're able to put our affirmation up here whenever, because obviously they didn't know that I was going to be here either. So we're all doing it on the fly. While they're putting it up there, oh, look at that. Look at that. So everybody come off of mute, come off of mute. It's like, I haven't even done this all like in freaking 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because I've been gone so much. So everybody come off of mute. And on the count of three, we're all going to say it together here. 1, 2, and 3.
Something good is going to happen to me. Something good is
Something good
going
is
to
going to
happen
through me. You're good, man. So the funny thing is, well, it's not really funny, but because I'm with a bunch of real estate agents and we're doing a bunch of content, you see people all the time just pulling up their phones and starting to do Facebook Lives and doing different things. So like everybody's at first feels kind of weird that I'm just doing this in the middle of the area. Let me just show you kind of where I'm at. So this is the conference, and this is how I know it's supposed to be here, Jada. So before I was leaving, I went to a mastermind this morning at 6:30, standing room only, packed, hundreds and hundreds of people in this room. And before I left, I grabbed my tripod. I was like, oh, I probably should bring this tripod just in case I want to do some sort of filming. Little did I know that it would be for the mindset show this morning that I would need this. And I didn't even have it last week. Yesterday, I didn't have it at all. So I said, I guess it was meant to be for me to be able to have this. So, yeah, also, good morning to you. My name is Coach Brock Zevan, life coach, business coach, real estate coach, and a DAD. And so for those you don't know, I came in from the Philippines literally last week. Spent about 4 days of misery trying to get myself back from being jet lag, and got myself back together. I think it was Saturday. I had my first full night's sleep. Sunday was a normal day with the kiddos. Brielle had 4 soccer games for the tournament. Was running back and forth all weekend, and I got in my car and I freaking drove to Florida. So after being on about 8 different airplanes and having to be back early Thursday morning, I was just like, I'm going to have to drive because the flight patterns for me was not going to be able to get me back in time to pick up the kids for Thursday afternoon. So tomorrow morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting back in my car and I'm driving all the way back up to Charlotte, North Carolina. And Mr. John, look at John Root right there. So here I am in Orlando, and I was thinking for the last 2 minutes, what the hell am I going to talk about? And I said, you know what? No better opportunity to talk a little bit about the Philippines and a little bit about my life, what's going on. And maybe this is something that you could take from it, as well as I'll give you guys a little bit of a bonus of what I'm learning down here in Orlando and this opportunity and how you can put it into your own life. So, next Tuesday, I'm going to break down really my top 15 things that I took away from the Philippines. So what I'll do today is share with you some of the biggest takeaways I had, because I had a lot of people here today like, hey man, I heard you in the Philippines. I heard you're in the Philippines. And ironically, there's more people in the Philippines that went to the Philippines than I even knew. It's kind of like the reticular activator D. You start talking about it, you put it out there. Next thing you know, other people are just like, oh yeah, I've been in the Philippines. But the biggest takeaway that I really have from it is the gratitude and appreciation of the lifestyle and the blessings that God has put upon me. And I think sometimes we take for granted so many things. One thing specifically that I remember to a T when I was down in the Philippines is we were at the beach, and the girls remember this. We had to get, there was a palm tree, and we wanted a certain palm tree that was a little bit lower. And there was a gentleman that was standing by the palm tree. And so Renz went over there and started talking to the guy. He's like, oh, we'll go over here. So Renz goes over there and talks to the guy, and the guy moves so then we can do a picture. And I said to myself, who am I to think because it's me that I want that tree to be there and we're going to ask this guy to move? And I mean, let's just be honest, when it's 90 some degrees on, you saw my sunburn, like having shade is a value. Having shade is very, very important. And so here am I to tell this guy, like, hey, bud, I need to do a video and a picture. I need you to move for me. And so I kind of sat back and I said, Brock, like, who do you think you are? And sometimes we just feel like we're just granted certain things and we're just like, okay, because of our title. And one of the things I like with John Maxwell is John Maxwell says, your title enters the room before you do. There's many times when I meet people here today, they know me from the show. They know me from a Zoom. But honestly, they don't know me. They know of me. I'm going to say that again. Your title enters into a room before you do because they know of you. They don't know you. They don't know my story. They don't know who I am as a person. And the challenging thing all is what I've learned through my last 9 years of working on myself is that they can know you positive or they can know you negatively. And for many years of my life, during my drinking days, my craziness, my womanizing, my just all the things of just not the person I am today, because I decided to change, doesn't mean that my title will automatically change right away. And you have to work on that, and you have to accept and take ownership of whatever BS you put out there, whatever nonsense you put out there, whatever that might look like. You have to own that. And the title doesn't change on your time. It changes when you continuously show up day in and day out. And some of us on here are wanting it to change just like I did yesterday. I wanted a new version of me. Oh, wait a minute. I'm working on myself. Wait a minute. I'm a really good guy. Yeah, for one day, for 1 hour. And so the amazing thing is that when you have these habits and these disciplines and you come to events like this, the new title overcomes slowly the old title. And so when they know of me, They have the title or they understand the person that they see on the outside. And then the greatest thing is then when they learn more about you, there's more of the law of attraction of the person you have become. And so all of you on here today are becoming something or someone. Whether you like the person or not, that's your choice and to decide where you want to grow. They've talked a lot about here today the process. And so when I go back to the guy that was by the tree and I asked him to move, I said to myself, old Brock would have just said, yeah, get the F out of the way, man. I need to have this tree because it's all about Brock. And so when we asked the gentleman to move, I said to myself, what can I do to help this man? What can I do at this very point, which is very hard to do? I mean, we're in the middle of the beach and this ocean here. But one of the things I've realized is they're so grateful and so thankful of just any opportunity. So I asked one of the VAs that I was with, June, I said, hey, man, because I didn't have like the pesos, I don't have the cash on me. So I was like, do you have any money on you? And he's like, yeah. I said, I don't know what's considered a reasonable amount here, but I would like to be able to present him a tip, a thank you, appreciation. So I think we gave him 200 pesos, which I learned is a large amount of money for just asking somebody to move from a tree. But the greatest thing came into play when I presented it to him and I said, and they do understand English. And that's what the cool, I tell Jay and Rico all the time, I was like amazed how much English there is out here. But I said, I went over to the gentleman, I said, I just want to thank you for allowing us this time period to use this tree. I don't own this tree. And I kind of felt like I treated it as I do own this tree. And so I just wanted to give you a little bit of a tip for appreciation. And Jada, he looked at me and be honest, in all, like 200 pesos is like $3. It's not a lot of money in the Philippines. But he said to me, thank you so much. He looked at me like even like shocked that I gave it to him. He says, this is going to buy my lunch today. How many of us, when we come from gratitude and appreciation, that we already know when our next meal is going to be? We already have money in our bank account with our next food. I mean, some of you might be thinking where I'm going to eat, how much money am I going to spend? Am I taking somebody out? Those are things that we take for granted all. There's people in this world who have no idea when their next food's going to come. Let that sit with you for a little bit. And when I saw certain things that were out there, a couple of people asked me while I was here, they said, Brock, what is your takeaways? What is your biggest thing? And I said, I'm not bitching anymore. You won't hear me complain. You won't hear me. I mean, there's really not too much besides my wonderful 13-year-old daughter who drives me crazy right now. Besides her, outside of that, in which I still should be thankful that I have a daughter and she's healthy and she's and everything else. But I guess that's my little side note. But it's just the appreciation that I took from the Philippines and the littlest things are water, plumbing, those certain things. So today I encourage you to kind of reflect back in gratitude. If anything, I'm going to challenge you to write down 10 things you're thankful for that seem very, very silly, but mean a lot in different parts of this world. And it's going to allow you that opportunity to really sit back and you hear many times, ironically, the same hotel that I'm at right here, the Orlando Marriott, is the same place 2 years ago that I was here with John Maxwell. Same exact room, same exact whole thing. And who would have known come full circle that I would be exactly here? And John Maxwell taught us so much of the law of gratitude and appreciation that some of us get so busy. And where's Paul? I think I saw Paul on here. And I could say this because Paul's got thick skin. But I remember when I was coaching Paul, And he had to write down to me 3 gratitudes and 3 things he's excited about. And he told me when I looked at it, because I always make people send me screenshots, right, Jackie? D, I make you send me pictures of your calendar. And part of it was the 3 things you're thankful for. I remember, Paul, when you came to me and you didn't have all your gratitudes. You had 3 effing things to do. 3 things, and you couldn't even think of 3 things. And I remember that moment, you actually told me it. You looked in the mirror and you looked at myself and like, basically, how much of an ungrateful bastard am I that I can't even come up with 3 things? And since then, he has done it every single day. And so I challenge you all to write these gratitude down, just like John Maxwell taught me 2 years ago, that who would know come full circle that I would be at an event to be able to share my message, to be able to share my story, to talk to many people here. Many people ask me about this mindset show. And the biggest moment I had was yesterday. I was in the crowd, and there's about 2,000 people here. And I was sitting down in the rows there. I don't know where I was, like towards the front. And the most, I don't want to say this. How many of you work so hard to get to a certain place that you don't know when the reward or the gratitude or the moment will come when you're like, wow, this really is transforming into something bigger than I thought. And I was sitting in there and they started to do on the big screen, they started to flow through leaders and educators in the company, 30,000 people in the company. And my mindset show showed up and they promoted it in front of everybody. And I had people like hitting me on the, Brock, look, you're up there, you're up there. Like I can cry sometimes because I remember the time period that I tell people like, it was just me and Mike Castor on here one-on-one on a phone call. And to be able to see your name and to see yourself up there, it's like, you know what? God wanted, just like you wanted me to have this tripod here today, there's things that he does that you don't know when the opportunity is going to be that you're going to be recognized. And there's a saying, people practice in private and are rewarded in public. And at this very moment, I was rewarded for this mindset show in public. And it's helping people across our industry and across our area. So if you feel like you're struggling, if you feel like you're challenging, you don't know, maybe you're in a financial position and you're living from credit card to credit card. Maybe you're doing things on a financial level, you're not too sure how to pay your bills. Maybe you're in a position like some of these people are in this world that they don't know when their next food's going to come or the next opportunity or their next, whatever it might be, that you just keep showing up. Because at some point, you will be rewarded in public for something that you couldn't even imagine. Because I'm sitting there, I had no idea that they were going to do that. No clue. And it was like the little medicine, little sign, the little sprinkle of salt on top that God's like, hey, I got you. Just keep on going, keep showing up in some capacity, in some way. Because to be honest with you, I was tired coming down to Florida. The last thing I really wanted to do was get in the car and travel 8.5 hours. But you know what? It was on purpose. And one of the things they talked about here today was about the process. And Jim Rohn talks about this, about the process. It's not the person you become. It's not the title of the name you are on the other side of it. It's the person you become during the process. And some of you are going through the process right now. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's just part of the process. People ask me, is there anything you would do differently? And sometimes I want to say yes. And it's usually, I wish I started sooner. But you know what? I would have been too immature to be able to handle the blessings that I have today. So the brokenness that you're supposed to go through is all part of the process. as Bishop Jake says, that sometimes in life, if the blessing's given too soon, could end up in not the right blessing that he has for you. I use the example many times. If I give Bryce my car keys, which can handle Bryce, has gas in it, has a GPS, has a wheel, has everything you need, but the blessing given to him of the car keys given to too soon could end into catastrophe. And so when things don't go my way, I understand that God's blessing for me is not ready for me yet. And I have to absorb whatever it is that I am in the moment. And the trip to the Philippines makes me shut my mouth and stop bitching, whining, and complaining, and understanding that other's lifestyle or somebody else's world is totally different. And so it gives me a different perspective. So if you take this process today, is understanding that gratitude and the process of what you're going through and growing through is just a perspective of your own vision that you have of your own life. And the biggest thing is what you're going to do with it. How are you going to handle the rest of today? How are you going to handle the rest of this week? What it is that you are going to do. And one of the things I wrote down from a lot of my masterminds that I've been in is, what am I going to do differently when I get back home? What is it that Brock's going to do differently from the Philippines to Florida to getting back home? What am I going to do? To all my real estate people, I can tell you this. I'm going to be doing a new listing presentation, and I have a new listing presentation that I'm going to do because of what the market is doing. And for those of you that want to be part of that listing presentation, put listing in the chat, and we will make sure that you will get it, because I will give you the invite to it. But I'm changing my listing presentation around. Why? Is because I've been doing the same listings for about 7 years, but now there's a new way to do it. There's a new way to be able to share your listings and to be able to promote it. So that's just a tangent. What made me just think about it, because I just got done like an amazing listing. I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to change. But the saying is, nothing changes if nothing changes. I was stuck in my rut, like, well, it's already working. How many of you have heard? Put a 5 in the chat. How many of you heard, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? But guess what? Sometimes you don't need to fix it. You need to tweak it. Might need just a little bit of a tweak here or there. So that's what I have today on this beautiful, beautiful sunny day here in Florida. If you got something out of today, put a 5 in the chat. If you got something out of today, put a 5 in the chat. If you want some of my listing that I'm going to be doing in 2 weeks, put listings in the chat. So I'm going to open it up. Does anybody have anything they would like to add, share, or say? Because another thing I learned that from the speakers that I've been listening to is they do give room for conversation and engagement. I need to do a better job of that. So we got a couple minutes here. Does anybody like to come off of mute, maybe share something, ask me a question, anything at all?
Hey, Brock, it's Paul.
Oh.
The example of today.
Yes, brother.
So I was just kind of thinking here that maybe I could work out some sort of a royalty program where every time you use that example, you could just Venmo me on behalf of the group.
Yeah. So I'll get that over to you right away. I will send me over an invoice, please. I don't know how many times your royalty fees on that.
But on a serious note, part of my morning routine, along with my devotion, and I have it right here besides me, is my gratitude journal. Here it is.
There you are. Okay, there you are. I was like, sorry, I'm on my cell phone. I had to scroll down. There it is. There it is. Those are the 3. I love it, man. Can everybody hear me? Oh, you can hear me. Okay.
Oh, there you go. And one of my examples is how I continue to be an example for others to hear it, because for me it was difficult to think what are my gratitudes, because I'm just out there doing my thing, and like you with the guy in the tree, who am I, to not sit down and smell the roses and be thankful for where I'm at. And everybody notices. My wife notices. My kids notice. My coworkers notice. Hey, man, you're just different. And I just want to challenge everybody that, when Brock used the example, and yes, he's right. Feel free to use it at any time. It makes a difference in both yourself and the people that you touch. So thanks again.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate you sharing that message and being a testimonial to the gratitudes and to our conversation. So thanks, brother. Appreciate you from the trees here in sunny Florida. I got about 2 minutes. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add or share or ask this morning?
Good morning. First, I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
And I wish I was there at that event too, because I'd be crying. Yeah. Anyway, don't make me cry. So this week in our church, we've been meeting at 6 o'clock. We go from 6 to 7, and we're praying over people, praying over missions, praying over our country. Which is, praying publicly is can be scary. But it has moved mountains in my life in just these 3 days. And we go all through the week, but it's grounded me, and it's opened up my eyes, ears, and heart to listen for the Holy Spirit, because it's moving me in so many different directions right now.
Amen. Amen. Power of prayer. If Robin was on here, there's a verse that says God makes the impossible possible. And yeah, he moves mountains. He does things. I mean, guys, when I tell you I was sitting in the chairs yesterday and thinking that my mindset show would be pulling up, I was just like, I couldn't even plan for that. Like, it's such an impossible vision that I didn't even think about it. And that's what God does, is he puts things in front of you, the power of prayer. So Dee, thank you so much for sharing that this morning.
Hey,
Guys, if you
Brock.
can, yes, go ahead. Who do we have? Michelle.
I just wanted to say I appreciate, I'm thankful and grateful for the show today. And earlier this week, I was in Aldi. I needed to pick up some things. I wanted to make some red beans and rice, and I needed red beans in order to do it. I was in the grocery store, and there was this elderly gentleman in front of me. He was frail, bent over, and he had a few groceries. And he turned around and gave me a calendar. And I said, well, thank you. I mean, it took him like a minute in order to give it to me. And I went, there's something inside of me said, pay for his groceries. And so I went to the attendant and I said, I got this. He's not paying for it. He turned around and looked at me and he goes, no, no. And he said, why are you doing that? And I just said, they're paid for. And he said, you didn't have to do that. And I said, yes, I did. And I said, be blessed today. And I said, you gave me a calendar. And he said, I think you got the raw end of the deal on this. And he was so happy. When I got home, I hadn't looked at the calendar. It was a calendar for Holocaust survivor painters who had painted during the Holocaust. And I mean,
Wow.
it blessed me so much more than, and our entire bill was like $20. So
Right.
like you said, it was like, wow. And
Yeah.
so sometimes it's the little things, and we just need to do them. And that's what it means to be a Christian. That's what it means. And in private, and I didn't do it for anything really. It was just something I knew that I needed to do from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. What a beautiful message. I mean, guys, it's all about the little things. You just never know when. And so if you haven't read or watched the movie Paid Forward, it's another vision of that. So, guys, if you haven't listened to my Facebook Live this morning, I strongly suggest you doing that, because if you want some of the prompts, some of the different things that I'm offering, that I'm learning, that I'm getting, that I have literally copy pasted, that I've been given to from some really high level coaches in this country, listen to my Facebook this morning, make the comment so that way we can get that information over to you. For those of you who know somebody that wants to be part of my new listing, make sure you tell them, put listing into the chat. Till then, I'm very blessed and thankful. Justine, who is here with us as well, I've been hanging out with her. She'll be back tomorrow at 8:15 Eastern time. I'm sure I'll be in some sort of format with her, as we will be leading the Mindset Show. So today I challenge you to write your gratitudes, pay it forward, as I go back into a full day today. I finish off at 10 o'clock tonight, start at 6:30 till 10 o'clock. And I'm one of those weirdos, I love this stuff. I just love being a sponge and learning so much, and to being able to share it with you all when I come back. So till then, I'm blessed for whoever needed to hear today's message, because I wasn't planning on talking today. So if you were able to pull something out of today, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Till tomorrow morning. See ya.